is Linda Collis, and I am the Red Cross Youth Regional League Coordinator for Central Florida and U.S. Virgin Islands. So my first interaction with the Red Cross, I was 14 years old. They put up something at school. They were offering, the Red Cross was offering a junior lifeguard. I have to admit, it was one of the first positive experiences of, like a reinforcement. Here's somebody telling me that I can save a life. I can make a difference and save a life. And so I started volunteering down at the chapter in Trenton, New Jersey. So from the time I was in 8th grade, my mother wanted me out of school. And it wasn't that we needed the money. My father was a good provider. It was just the principle of it. For some reason, she didn't think education was important, that I should be out there working like she had to. So my father would say, well, she enjoys school, we're fine, just let her stay in school, but they were never supportive. So I went behind their backs and applied for college. My father told me if I worked, I could, and got enough money, I could go to college. I worked 3 jobs that summer and got enough money to go to school. I saved enough for 5 years of my education. So my father let me go, but he made the mistake of giving me my mother's car to drive to school. And she really resented that. So on my 17th birthday, she woke me up, beat me, and threw me out in the snow. And I was homeless. I went to a 2-year program for nursing, so I graduated with an AD degree. And so at that time in New Jersey, there were no jobs. I went to South Carolina. Actually, I got on the highway, and every time I saw an H sign, I got off the road, applied, waited a day. If I didn't hear anything, then I kept driving south, got all the way to South Carolina and got a job. So I worked for 5 years doing open heart, and they put me under this one surgeon, and he was a tyrant. Everybody at the hospital feared him. So this one day I just kind of zoned out and was cleaning this instrument, and he caught me. So he took the clamp off the aorta, but when the heart pumped, it drowned me. I was totally covered from head to toe, like that movie Carrie, covered in blood. Needless to say, the patient's pressure dropped, plummeted, anesthesia was screaming. It was a big scene. Second time he got me was he wanted me to hold, I was holding a wire that was connected in the heart, and the heart surgeon was trying to repair a hole in the heart. The other doctor, who I normally worked with, wanted me to retract in the abdomen the wound he had. And I told him I could not do that, and it made him angry. He picked up the scalpel and stuck it in my hand. And so, of course, I screamed, had to step back because my blood can't mix with the patient's blood. And the surgeon said, why'd you do that? She's going to cry all day. But the third time, when he got me, he asked for an instrument, and I said, sir, I don't know what that is. If you point to it, I'll give it to you. It made him mad. So instead of using the rafts to break the bone, he just broke it off, and he threw the leg at me. I was so shocked. I ducked. I didn't get hit by the leg, but it went into the kick bucket, and it went past the patient. And the patient went, is that my leg? When I heard that patient and felt that patient's pain, I passed out. As a teenager, when my mother put me out, I was homeless. I moved from friend to friend to friend. That's how I dealt with the first homeless. The second time, I had been married 32 years. We owned 2 homes. We had the big home in Atlanta that had been our home for 29 years. And then one day he bought the beach house. So I rushed home and found a note that said, I'm leaving. I no longer want this life. So then I thought, well, I'll take the beach house. And he said in the agreement that he would pay for it. So I would have to pay taxes on it. So the accountant explained to him, you're going to have to give her the tax money. If he gave it to me, then I could pay the government and keep the beach house. But if he didn't give it to me, then he would have to pay it to the government. So it wasn't going to change the amount of money he had at all, but it would make the difference of whether I could have a home or not. And he stood there and he said, I will not give her the tax money. And so that meant I was homeless. For him to leave me homeless was about the cruelest thing anybody could do to anybody. He never recovered because of Ashley's accident. The driver was the guy who was Stephanie, the oldest daughter's boyfriend, was driving the car, and he left Ashley to burn. He had 5 drinks at one place. He hit the wall at 90. The engine came through, broke both of Ashley's legs. The car exploded and went up into a tree 100 feet off the ground. They dropped down. He crawled away. She couldn't move, both her legs were broke. And so the fire came out of the car, set the pine straw on, cooked her. So when I got to Alabama and signed up to be Red Cross, one of the first things they wanted me to do is, they always need the DAT team members to respond, because that's something going on every day. And because my daughter was burned 70% of her body, and I spent 4.5 months in the ICU with her, the last thing I wanted to do was go chase fires. But I guess, basically in life, as I tried to inspire my daughter Ashley after her injury, is that you can let something put you down, or you can just consider it a challenge, just another challenge to meet. And that's what I've always done. Then I said, okay. And so that started me on 3 years, 24/7, the only nurse on call for 12 counties. Do I think that right now I could go to Advent Health and take a job and work 12 hours? No. Nursing's changed. 12-hour shifts are physically demanding shifts. Do I want to put that in my body at this age? No. What I love about Red Cross, it lets me still make a difference. What gives me the ability to overcome the trauma is the knowledge that you can either let it beat you, or you can turn it into something positive.